The business of sports, and tonight we speak to creative director at Kasiflavour10 Kabelo Kungwane, who has focused on blending his clothing designs with sport. Good evening, Kabelo, and welcome to Sport on the Full View. Kabelo, can you hear me?
Hi, sister. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, Kabelo, you have a very distinct style in the way that you design your clothes. They have a very strong political and sports theme to them. Now, what is the influence behind this? Did you perhaps grow up in an environment surrounded by sports?
Yes, sister. Basically, I grew up from a sports background. My father was a professional footballer. So the sports and the love of it, I got it from the first hand. Like ngisakhula vele ngisemncane. It's always been like a thing that is like surrounded by So yeah, since ngisakhula, it's like that. That's my first love. Like I don't know anything besides football. Angikwazi ukuswima or ukuskater. Yeah, so football has always been my first love, and I've always been into like fashion, design, history, and research. So I've always wanted to blend those two things together and to tell my story as a person. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, Kabelo, we remember the success of clothing labels like your Lokshin culture, but no one has really dominated in the township style of clothing design. Is this perhaps a gap in the market that you and your partners see as a room for growth for you guys?
I don't think like we saw it as a gap or like as something as like an opportunity which is like for us it was about celebrating what we love, genuinely, and loving fashion and seeing brands like Lokshin Culture do it, and they also inspired us to tell a narrative or a story about where we come from and like how we see things that we grew up from, and also like make clothing like from it, like bekuhlala kuyilento leyo ukuthi like how can I talk about uJabulile or uShakes Kungwane but from a t-shirt or a football jersey, you know what I mean? So it's always been like the things that we wanted to tell through like clothes and style. So, and brands like Lotion Culture, DCs, and Abuladuma, they always told a story about what inspires them and like how they grow up. So, in like their cultures, So for us, like it has always been football, and that's how we wanted to tell our story through style and photography and storytelling. Yes.
Okay, that's a very interesting influence and inspiration for what you do. Now, the business of creating sport apparel is relatively big because you've got schools, you've got your amateur, and you've also got your professional teams that all need to be kitted out. Is this a part of the market that you've considered looking at? Because, I mean, the quantities could be massive for you and could actually fund your day-to-day operations.
Yes, looking at Utepo, the gene maker, he just recently collaborated with Orlando Pirates. It's something like things like that. Like it inspire us to see this thing like on a bigger scale, or seeing a local sneaker brand to collaborating with Baroka. Like those are the things that we love to see, like mixing football and fashion. So with us, because like we're still a young brand that still lacks like capital to go on that scale, but once we do, like we're gonna make it bigger because of we have a more understanding, like in terms of the football culture of South Africa, and then looking at schools and stuff, like it's just more of like having the right CMTs and a right capital to make this thing the way we want to do it, because we want to do it well and like not take corners, because Chenalento les siyenza ngothando, and it's something that like asikeli phezulu, like we started from the ground. So yeah.
Okay, so now can you tell us more about what your short-term and your long-term goals are in terms of your business? I know, like recently you just mentioned that for you it's about the love and it's about the passion, but do you think that the longevity of your business being focused so much on sports will be influenced and determined by a bottom line, or is this just your creative position that you've taken to say we're always going to create clothing which is more focused on football, or will you move that depended on your bottom line?
So our business mainly is about like consulting. So besides like having a fashion brand that is inspired by South African football, we also are a creative. We also are a creative agency that what we do is we also like consult for brands that want to work on like football related campaigns. So what we do is we just shot like we shoot jersey launches of like Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, or Sundowns, and so that's like one of our main businesses where like we do like photography for like brands, yeah. So with this Valentine's thing, they hit us up like to tell our story, like through that, because like we're not selling clothes only, we're selling the culture of South African football, like through consulting. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, beautiful. And finally, as we wrap up with you tonight, just tell us, where do people find your clothing and what is the actual price range that we are looking at in terms of this football sports gear?
So we have a website, so you can find everything on our website from the store, and we also have a journal, and also the online museum, all the stuff that we collect from like for the football stuff. It's called Kasiflavour10. It's www.kasiflavour10.com. That's where you're gonna find our online store, and then like clothes, they start from around like 450 a t-shirt to like 1.3 like a jersey, a knit jersey. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for talking us tonight, and good luck with all your future endeavors in your business, Kabelo.